This is Eileen Wurst, and this is the autoethnography of ecosomatic body scan meditation through narrative and photographic inquiry. I created the Ecosomatic Body Scan Meditation, or EBSM, as a way of staying connected to my telehealth clients during the COVID-19 pandemic. Using our breath, we'd visualize a secure space and ground ourselves into the earth, and we were able to connect to a greater sense of safety. Here's an example of the beginning of the meditation.
Begin this journey by taking some deep breaths. Inhaling healing chi and exhaling out all you are ready to let go of. Allow yourself to be comfortable and feel supported, either sitting or lying down.
So the initial ABR pilot study envisioned that there'd be 10 anonymous participants recruited online. However, the study seemed to evolve just as soon as I created the first draft. The essence of it became more manifest as my partner Richard and I created a greenhouse in our backyard. We began using it as an outdoor chamber with which to perform the EBSM, and then adjusted the study so that he was the sole participant. But unfortunately, after starting, he had other obligations that required his time, and he wasn't able to continue. So I stepped in and took his place and turned this into an autoethnography. And it became evident that the autoethnography was going to be about a local environmental protest movement to support natural park from additional development. I chose to perform the EBSM throughout the rallies I engaged in with what's known as Lincoln Park, and before writing and speaking at the protest. The following is a narrative and photographic video coexistence in the exploration of my autoethnographic experience of becoming an embodied environmental activist through the use of EBSM. So let me introduce you to Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park is a 135-acre natural wooded escape along Puget Sound in Seattle. I'll show you some of my favorite parts of it. You can walk along and see sweeping views of the water. Not very many people access it. It's only 20 minutes from downtown. Because it's so close to where I live, I've sought sanctuary here, and I've practiced ESM here. I hold it in a fond place within my heart. Just taking in the magic and wonder of this forest. Much of it still has ancient trees. I've never held a protest sign about political issues, but infringement on the natural space of Lincoln Park led me to become involved in this protest against the city. I had no experience with pickleball or protest, but as I practiced EBSM, I felt called to action. In contrast to the majesty of the park, the protesters and myself were not against the wall, but rather against the manner in which the city went about attempting to establish supports. There was no open public debate for converting this abandoned lot. All noise creates a sense of hypervigilance and nuisance. effects on nature have yet to be documented. And as I've mentioned, there's numerous old growth trees and migrating birds that surround this proposed site. So, my first instance of activism was in attending this rally, and I was stepping into this new world I had never been exposed to before. Being called to action literally through my body has seemingly permitted another level of awareness to emerge.
Despite plans from Seattle Parks and Rec to convert the former Lincoln Park tennis courts into 6 pickleball courts in the coming weeks,
we're doing what we can in the time that we have. This is a QR code for the petition.
Kirsty Mule is leading the efforts to get those plans scrapped.
I want parks to stop and take a minute and listen to the public.
The group spent some time on Sunday at the park holding up signs along Fauntleroy Way before making their way to the proposed site of the pickleball court.
So after that involvement of the initial rally, I was invited to speak at a larger protest the following weekend. The week leading up to the protest found my body electrified and energized in a way I had not felt for quite some time. It was as if the ecological consciousness of the park had reached out and grabbed hold of my heart and soul. I used the EBSM as a way to ground and connect deeply with the park and with the words that I was to use in my speech. So much energy from that speech reached out to many people. And here are some of the folks who were attending the protest.
For all, keep our park a refuge for all. Keep our park a refuge for all. For all.
What I found was by allowing myself to surrender to what was streaming through me, others were drawn, and I was invited to speak at another protest that will be coming up in the next year around old growth trees within city limits. The experience of using EBSM for embodying environmental justice has felt like my body, my being, was utilized in totality for the sake of the quiet of the park. It was as if the forest was channeling me rather than the other way around. And as I mentioned, this work will continue on. It feels as if a new chapter in being recognized as an activist has begun. In the future, I would like to work with activists and the EBSM and see what kind of themes might develop for them.